By now, everybody knows that the Pan America is an awesome off-road bike, but not as many people know just how well these bikes handle on the road. And when you set them up right, they can be the perfect sport tour for any adventure. What's up, guys? I'm Isaac here at Tobacco Road, Harley-Davidson in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm going to talk about one of my favorite luggage options for the Harley-Davidson Pan America Special, the Harley-Davidson Sport Cases. So my model today is this pre-owned 2024 Harley-Davidson Pan America Special in the gorgeous Alpine green. And as you've noticed, there's a lot of major changes for the Pan America for 2024. A couple of those big changes, of course, new paint options, new graphics on the tank and the front fender or the front fairing piece. Now, like I said, this one is pre-owned, so it had a couple modifications done to it. It's got upgraded foot pegs. It's got these nifty little aftermarket highway pegs because this bike is set up for some highway cruising because they're fantastic at it with the amount of power and the lean angle you have. And these are the stock tires, and stock tires do really well. We've put in a little bit of work on stock tires before on these bikes, and they do great. But throw some road tires on too, and that awesome performance gets just a little bit better too. There's this aftermarket Corbin seat. It does raise you up a little bit, so if you're already kind of a shorter rider and kind of struggle riding the Pan Am because of its height, then you might not love this seat, but with this one does have the adaptive ride height, so it does lower for you, so it is still manageable. And this really nice little matching passenger backrest too. But then, of course, there's the focus of this video, the sport cases. Now, a couple things I love about the sport cases, and I'm really glad it's on this bike because I think this bright silver with this beautiful Alpine green really goes together really nice. So I love that we've got these two together. And this one is the laced wheel option too, so it looks fantastic. But now, if you've seen the Lowrider STs, a lot of folks have issues with those bags being asymmetrical. And these bags are, for the most part, they look symmetrical, but the one on the right does have that cutout on the inside for the exhaust. So they are locking, but the nice part is that you can also leave them unlocked. So unlike the hard cases or the panniers that come stock on the CVO Pan Am or are also available, those you have to have the key in to open every time, which can be, they're great cases, but that can get a little bit annoying after a while. But these, you can leave them unlocked. So to open these, all you've got to do is push down on this lock up top. You'll see this will pop up. Open it, and boom, there it is. You've got the sport case. So a lot of good room in there. You can fit a bunch of cool stuff, and you'll see this is where that little indention is for the exhaust. You can fit a tripod, your camera gear, your camping supplies, stuff like that, or just your work bag. Now the other side's a little bit bigger. Now fitting a laptop in here, be a little bit smaller of a laptop, so you'd have to work with that. But with this nice gasket on these, these are waterproof, so you won't have to worry too much about riding in the rain. Now, if you're doing that highway traveling and doing some real, not roughing it quite as much, and you're doing a little bit of hotel hopping, these do have inserts. So what you can do is very similar to all the other bags. It's a little zippered pouch that you can fit in here perfectly, put all your gear in, and then when it's time for the hotel, you can just go ahead and pull those right out and go up to your hotel room. Or, now this is where it gets real fancy, what really makes me like these bags. So you take the key, which is in one of these two pockets, and you take this right here, and it's actually, so now this has two sets of keys, but this one, these bags can be set up to the key of the bike, so it minimizes the keys. This one hard key I can use for the fork lock, and I can also use for these bags. So what I can do here, and turn it this way to lock. Now, don't get in the bag easily. Not without a sledgehammer. And even then, this is a tough bag too. But then I can go back there, unlock it, and check this out. This is where it gets fancy. So I can take the key out. Now, if you don't want to use the inserts, take your luggage up there. Let me show you what this does. So lift that up, and now you see a handle pops up. Now the cool thing with the handle is when you pull that up, now you heard all that happening. What that did now is that released it from the motorcycle. So when I lift up, all I have to do is lift straight up, and I've got a carrying handle on the bag, so I can just take the whole bag, both bags, up to the hotel room just like that. Now, check this out though. If you've noticed, look at the back of this bag, and set that right there, and look at the bike. What's something you might not be noticing up here is docking hardware. That's what makes this bag one of my favorites, is because the Pan America looks so good without bags on it, and it also looks good with the right bags too. But in just a second, you can take these bags off and you're not left with any docking hardware. So now a lot of the other bags, they'll come off too, but you have to have that docking hardware. These, you just put them on and easy as that. Now it is a little bit different, of course, for that top case, and the top case that matches this also looks fantastic, but you could leave that on just to put your jacket in, take these off, and then you've got your skinny Pan America back and it's ready to rip. Now you come back down from the hotel, and all you gotta do is line this up and drop these in right here. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you. Drop that in, that's secured. Push the handle back down, locked in, put that down, and we're back. Give it a little tug, make sure it's good. Congratulations, your bags are back on your motorcycle. And another cool thing with these is that you've got a ton of cool things, but you do have some good little strap options. So if you had to strap on something else to this, you've got a little hook on both sides of this, so you can run your duffel bag across and be good to go. Now another advantage to the clamshell bags is that if you do have a larger duffel bag that you were to set on the back seat, normally with your other top hatch opening bags, that would get in the way, but since these are opening from the side, then you can strap everything up here to the top and not have to worry about that at all. Now, the only drawback that I found to these bags so far is when you come over here. So the only drawback I'm seeing is that on this side of the bike, where the bike is, if it's on the side stand, it's gonna be leaning a little bit to the left. So it can get a little bit hard if you've got a bunch of tiny little items. You might think they might fall out or something like that. But like you saw earlier, you do have that net on the other side too to help keep everything in the bike a little bit better. But that's where another beautiful feature of the Pan America Special comes into play, is that it comes stock with a center stand. So if this bike's on the center stand, it'll be straight up vertically, not vertically, but it won't be leaning over one side or the other. So what you can do with that is then it's gonna be a whole lot harder for stuff to fall out of the bike. Now, you're packing a motorcycle for a trip, and naturally, you probably have this bag filled up to capacity. And so you're pushing the bike over. And so that's something you don't want to do, is you don't want to push the bike over. So when you're trying to get this thing closed, you want to make sure that you're not going to push the bike over. So that's another kind of drawback with the clamshell. Just use a little bit of common sense on that, and you won't push my motorcycle over. So close these up just like that. And that's all there is to it right there. These are the sport cases for the Harley-Davidson Pan America Special. So if you want to check these out or see anything else here at Back Road Harley-Davidson, be sure to come see us. And in the meantime, we hope this was beneficial. So ride safe, and we'll see you soon.